Late night
What's
lending.
going on, guys? Late night lending back at you. And cheers, we made it through the first quarter. Cheers, we've almost made it through another week, guys. And we are now into April. There's a lot of things going on. There's certainly a lot of news out there. The news of reciprocal tariffs hitting certainly has shaken up the stock market. And also, it has shaken up the 10-year Treasury, which indeed has shaken up mortgage rates. We had a great improvement over in mortgage rates over the last few days. So, listen up if there's anyone out there that's looking to purchase a home. If you've recently spoken with someone about getting pre-approved within the last few weeks. Give your lender a call, give myself a call, and take another look at things and see how everything is looking. The average rates have gone down. Again, the 10-year Treasury hovering at around that 4 level, and if it dips even further below 4, the feds are going to have to likely flinch here soon, and maybe even announcing a rate drop on their end. So we'll see what happens on that front, guys. But I wanted to dive back in with a little bit of content card creation here. And this one's about costs. What are your closing costs? So this one is certainly a hot topic for folks out there that are shopping around mortgage rates, which I certainly recommend that you do. But what you want to do is ask your lender for a fee sheet once you're pre-approved to get an idea of, kind of what their closing costs are going to look like. Now, when you're comparing these fee sheets, you're going to want to ask questions of your lender about what these fees are. So as you first, let's start at the top. When you're going to get your fee sheet, you're going to work your way down. Section A is going to be a section where you're going to see a number of different things. You're going to see discount points that are being charged. Now, discount points mean that you are paying for a lower rate. So keep an eye on that. If you're getting a fee sheet from lender A and you're getting a fee sheet from lender B, it doesn't mean that both these fee sheets are going to have discount point charge there. So keep an eye on that. You're going to have origination fees. You're going to have underwriting fees. So section A, it's not going to be the same. So take a look at your loan estimate in the beginning. As you work through the process, you're going to get a closing disclosure. And again, it's going to have section A fees there. Now, as you work your way down, you're going to have fees on section B. You're going to have appraisal fees listed. You're going to have a pest inspection fee listed. As you work your way down, section C, you're going to have things such as title fees listed here. So depending on who your lender uses to work up a loan estimate, your title fees there in section C may not be exactly the same there either. Again, we're using estimated figures, so take a look at it, see what's being shown in section C. Depending on what title company you end up working with, these fees are going to vary. Okay, so when you're comparing your fee sheet and saying, man, closing costs from lender A are $1,000 less than they are with lender B. Well, that doesn't mean that's where you're going to end up in the end. It means that very well that lender A could be more conservative on certain fees or more aggressive on certain fees, because really when I'm doing a fee sheet, I'm not thinking, well, how can I make this the cheapest possible closing fee appear on this fee sheet just to win the deal? Because what can happen is you work through this thing up front, you give them a fee sheet, and then at the end, they're saying, well, wait a minute. Now, my closing costs are a few $1,000s higher than where we were at when we started. And that's going to raise questions. That's going to make people upset. So as you work your way down, keep that in mind. Origination fees at the top, discount points. B, you're going to work your way down. You're going to have appraisal fees. You're going to have certain fees listed here, VA funding fees. Section C is the title fees. Okay, these are estimated fees depending on who the lender is using to fill out this sheet. Okay, now as you work your way down, you're going to have taxes listed there, transfer taxes. Who pays the transfer taxes in your state? What's listed there, right? So, and again, you're going to work your way down. You're going to have prepaid items on this fee sheet. What's a prepaid item? Well, you have to have homeowners insurance. You're paying for a full year of homeowners insurance up front. Well, lender A, if we're looking in the Florida market, depending on the size, the age of your house, is going to estimate your homeowners insurance at one rate. well, lender B may come in and estimate it way low. So you need to really make sure that when you're getting a fee sheet, you're not just looking at the very bottom line of what it says and say, well, man, lender B shows lower closing costs, so I'm going to go with lender B. Okay. You need to make sure you're asking questions. You need to make sure you're looking at each line item. One thing we didn't talk about is property taxes, right? So we talked a little bit about a homeowner's insurance on prepaid side. Well, you're also going to have an escrow section on your loan estimate. And the escrow section is going to have a certain amount of your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes set aside into an escrow account. So, depending on when your taxes and insurance are going to be due, you're basically paying into an escrow account every month that you're making a payment. And so, lender A, they may go in and use a certain estimator for your taxes. Lender B may be using something a little bit different to estimate the taxes. So, again, and that's going to make a difference on your closing costs. So, you want to just dive into it. You want to ask the right questions. Please don't just go by the very bottom line on a fee sheet and say, well, hey, I'm going to go with this one because my closing costs are less. You have to make sure of what you're actually comparing there. So that's just something to throw at you guys, talking about what are closing costs. And I hope that's been helpful to you guys to understand what that is. If you got any more questions about what closing costs are, please reach out to me. You can really kind of plan from anywhere between 2 and 5% of your sales price as to an idea of what your closing cost amount is going to be in the end. So, Greg Makos, Late Night Lending, guys. I'll catch up with you next time.